I couldn't find much information out there about HPA tap-in and ssx303 from Novritch. So I ended up buying a couple taps and I found one that worked. I did have to modify the magazine. So I'm going to end up going into that and showing a video of how I modify it to get the tap to work. Otherwise, my main concern with the 303 is precision. With precision, you got to have consistency, and with the green gas, you don't get consistency because every shot has different pressure. It's roughly 115 psi at 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's what it starts at. But obviously, your pressure drops with every shot. So after you do an HPA tap, you get more consistent pressure. I've got this one set for roughly 110 psi, so they're close, but I'm not trying to get them perfect. My main concern with this video is chronoing the gun, running roughly 25-26 shots of the green gas magazine, and comparing the consistency that you get from green gas compared to HPA. And that's what I was looking to accomplish, was getting more consistency with my shot. My main concern is going to be the difference between the first shot and the last shot on green gas, and the first shot and the last shot HPA, and the difference between each shot. As well, my concern was if I do tap HPA, if I do have to disconnect this, is there 110 psi, this whole canister going to end up shooting out the bottom and making a big noise and giving away my position? Because a big thing with the 303 is that it is quiet. And so that would be counterintuitive. I'm going to show you the sound that it makes after I hook up to it. I chrono the gun, and then I'm going to disconnect from it so you can also hear what it sounds like when you disconnect from it. So I'm trying to answer all the questions I had, so that way you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to shoot the green gas magazine first. We're going to chrono it, get the results from that. Then I'm going to shoot the HPA tap. We're going to chrono it, get the results from that. And then I will go into a video of what I got to do to use my Dremel to make enough room for this HPA tap. And I will link the tap that I use in the description below. First, we're going to do the green gas magazine. It's been sitting at roughly 70 degrees inside. We're going to do 0.36 gram BBs. And we're looking to see what the consistency is between shots and between the first and last shot. First shot's going to be 1.81 joules at 329.3 feet per second. 1.82 joules, 1.92 joules, 1.83 joules, 1.9 joules. 1.9 joules, 1.82 joules, 1.87, 1.92, 1.92, 1.92, 1.96, 1.96, 2.04, 2.08, 2.08, 2.08, 2.03, 2.12, 2.13, 2.15, 2.13, 2.15 up to 358 feet per second, 2.16, 2.16 joules at 359 feet per second on the last shot with the green gas. Now we're going to go HPA, roughly 110 psi. We're going to look to see how consistent our shots stay. First shot, 1.97 at 343. 2 joules. 1.98, 2 joules, 1.98, 1.99, 1.98, 1.95, 1.99, 1.98, 1.98, 2 joules, 2 joules, 1.98, 2 joules, 2 joules, 1.98, 1.97, 1.99, 2 joules, 2 joules, 2 joules, 1.96, 2 joules, 2.01, 2 joules. Last shot, 2 joules at 345. Very little difference between shots. Now my next concern was also going to be how loud is it when you disconnect from the HPA. Is it like green gas where when you disconnect and this is full of air, it's going to make all that noise? That was my concern. But it does not. It's much quieter, which I'm very happy with as well. So that was the results of the chrono. A lot more consistency between your shots and between the beginning and the end of the magazine with HPA. Now I'm going to show you how I modify the back of this magazine to fit this tap inside of it. Alright, so what you need is you need a flathead to pull out the fill valve. You need a Dremel with a cutting bit, and you'll want to get the Dominator QD HPA valve adapter. I got mine from Evike, and I will add the link in the description below. So first you're going to want to press this, make sure you got no gas in your magazine. Spin this counterclockwise out. You notice has a little nipple, some thread, and an O-ring. So this one is very similar. Little nipple, some thread, and the O-ring is right here. So you're going to want to slide that on and roll it down past the threads. Right there. So on this one you can see where I took some out here and here. Once I sink it a little bit further, it does bottom out on the back side, so I did grind a little bit out back there as well. And so I'm going to take the Dremel and I'm going to do that on this one. I think I'm going to leave the video running for it, but my concern is that the Dremel is going to be so loud it's just not going to be worth playing, so I might either cut the volume off or fast forward. So I'm going to take this bit and I'm going to just cut out this front section here, the side section, this side section. I might take a little bit off this front and then I'm going to cut it down the back here just to give it some more room for this wide piece to be able to spin. Otherwise, once I start putting it in, that's what it hits and it bottoms out. So it'll hit that and that'll keep it from going down. Hits there and it'll end up hitting back there. So I have to take those out a little bit so I can actually push it, spin it down a little bit further, because that doesn't make a seal. So I did get a little spots here and there, but of course that's okay. It's just some extra spacing there. You can always repaint it, but inside is where the O-ring is going to sit. So it doesn't matter how much this gets scarred up or anything like that. From here, you'll take this, hand tight to start. You'll get it started. Then we'll grab some pliers real quick to turn this on. See if it's bumping anywhere. Looks like it's hitting in the back side here. So I'm going to bring this down just a touch more before I put pliers on it. Hand tight now. So you're going to want to get your pliers on there, give it a little extra turn. You can use thread if you want, tape thread tape, but you don't have to. The O-ring makes the seal. I get a soap solution to test. So I'm going to spray the soap solution at the base. I'm going to hook up the HPA system and see if it leaks. If it leaks, then I know I got to bring it down a little bit more so that O-ring takes the seal. So I'm going to do that now as well. It's also a good idea that when you do this, you set your HPA tank to a lower pressure. So we're going to hook up. We can hear it leaking, so we know it hasn't made that seal. We got to go a little bit further. Just brought it down a little bit more on this back end. Now we're going to see if that does the trick. Don't hear anything. I'm going to take that soap solution, spray it at the base where I put it in at, and I'm looking for bubbles to grow. So if you see anywhere where bubbles would end up growing, that would be where your leak is. It's okay to have bubbles because it is soap, but you don't want to see bubbles growing. As long as these bubbles stay the same and sit there just like that, then you have an airtight seal. And this magazine has been HPA tapped and is ready to be played with in an ssx23 or ssx303. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it helped you. Hope it saved you some time. And this is how you HPA tap an ssx303 or 23 magazine.